Okay, this video is going to show you a little bit about something called blending modes. Now, blending modes is something that you are going to find in Photoshop and After Effects and Premiere. Like, it exists in many places. And what it basically does is if you were to have two layers, so I have this guy over here, and then let's say I took, let me take another image here, and I take this thing as another layer. At the moment, if I have this thing on, if I just change the opacity, if I hit the letter T to get opacity to show up, and I change the opacity, this is a dissolve. Okay, that just means that the top layer is not as bright as the other. A blending mode is different. What a blending mode does is it takes the color information from the two sources and together create a different appearance. So down at the bottom, you're going to have something here that says toggle switches and modes. If I click that, so that if I come over here where it says mode, if you're not seeing modes, if I right click this and go to modes to make sure that that is selected, then you're going to see this thing where it says normal modes, okay? And so right now, this layer is right on top of that other one. And when it says normal, it's completely opaque and you're not seeing anything. If I click on this arrow, you have these different settings here. These lines are representing a category. So if you look at the top one here, it's darken. If I select darken, what it does is it takes the color information from that top layer, and then together it's going to create an interesting combination of the two. And darken is, all these here are going to more or less darken the image, but they'll be a little bit different. And they all are, it's a pretty useful tool here. And so what I typically do here is I'm going to find, like, make a decision whether it's going to be darker or lighter or halfway. So add is going to make these things brighter. And so all these in here are going to be more or less brightening it up, but again, it's going to take the color information from those various layers and together create something new. And then if I go to overlay, this is kind of like a middle way. So it's like so it's not the same as a dissolve. It's a blending mode. All right, so this is just an interesting thing to play with, and be aware that when you use blending mode, the layer on top is the one that's going to have to impact. So if I change this, nothing is going to really happen because it has to be, the mode has to be changed from the layer above it, and it's going to interact with the one below it. Okay, so this would be soft light. And then, like, that video can then play, and then you can kind of have those things work with the individual layers. Okay, so that is blending modes.